Sometimes your darkest moment becomes your greatest teacher. Welcome to Story Studio 91. Chris Gardner stood in the bathroom of a subway station in San Francisco. The year was 1981. His hands shook as he held his sleeping son. The boy was only 2 years old. They had nowhere to go. No money, no food, no hope. Chris looked at his reflection in the dirty mirror. His eyes were red. His clothes smelled. He had not showered in 3 days, but he made a promise to himself that night. He would never give up. He would fight for his son. He would become someone. Chris was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His childhood was hard. His stepfather was violent. His mother struggled to protect him. Chris never knew his real father. He grew up with anger in his heart. He grew up with questions nobody could answer. Why was life so unfair? Why did some people have everything while others had nothing? These questions haunted him, but they also fueled him. Chris joined the Navy after high school. He wanted structure. He wanted purpose. But when he came back to civilian life, he felt lost again. He married young. He had a son. He tried to sell medical equipment to make money, but the job was hard. The commission was low. His wife left him. She took everything except their son. Chris was suddenly a single father with no real income. One day, Chris saw a man step out of a red Ferrari. The man wore an expensive suit. He looked confident. Chris walked up to him and asked a simple question. "What do you do?" The man smiled. "I am a stockbroker," he said. That moment changed everything. Chris decided he would become a stockbroker too. He applied for an internship at Dean Witter Reynolds. The program was competitive. There were no guarantees. The internship paid nothing. But Chris got in. Now came the real test. How do you survive with no income? How do you raise a son when you cannot afford rent? Chris tried everything. He sold his blood. He slept in shelters. He slept in parks. He even slept in the bathroom of a train station with his son in his arms. Other interns had support. They had families. They had money. Chris had nothing but his will. Every morning, he woke up before the sun. He dressed in the same wrinkled suit. He dropped his son at daycare. Then he ran to the office. He worked harder than anyone else. He studied while others slept. He made cold calls while others took breaks. People at the firm did not know Chris was homeless. He hid it well. He smiled. He stayed focused. But inside, he was dying. Every night, he wondered if this was worth it. Every night, he looked at his son and found his answer. Yes, it was worth it. The internship lasted 6 months. Only one person would get hired at the end. Chris finished at the top of his class. He got the job. Tears filled his eyes when they told him. He ran outside and cried on the street. He had done it. He had survived. He had won. But Chris did not stop there. He worked at Dean Witter for years. Then he started his own firm. He called it Gardner Rich & Company. The company grew. Chris became a millionaire, then a multimillionaire. He wrote a book about his life. The book became a movie. Will Smith played Chris in the film. It was called The Pursuit of Happyness. Millions of people watched it. Millions of people cried. Millions of people felt hope. Today, Chris Gardner travels the world. He speaks to crowds. He tells his story. He reminds people that pain is temporary. He reminds them that failure is not final. He tells them that if a homeless man with a baby can become a Wall Street legend, then anything is possible. Chris once said something powerful. The world is your oyster. It is up to you to find the pearls. Those words are simple, but they carry weight. They carry truth. Chris found his pearl in the darkest place. He found it when he had nothing. He found it because he refused to quit. Your struggle is not your identity. Your struggle is your story. And every great story has a hero who refuses to give up. Be that hero. Fight for your dream. Fight for your family. Fight for yourself. If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to Story Studio 91. Share this wisdom with someone who needs it today. Let them know that no matter how dark it gets, the light is coming.